Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, going to go over a story titled, Am I the jerk for humiliating my ex-girlfriend in front of her family after I discovered that she cheated on me? And a big shout out to Joseph for sending me this story. And guys, this story is all about a guy who's been with his girlfriend for a little while now. He's 27, she's 25. And lo and behold, one day he started seeing that things didn't seem quite right with her. Things didn't quite add up. Did some investigating, and lo and behold, she's cheating on him. Now, unlike a lot of guys that may have their own personal meltdown in a situation, confront her, cry, whatever, this guy decided not to get mad, but to get even. And let me tell you, he comes up with a very good way to get even with her. And he's actually questioning, did he go too far? And in my opinion, given the circumstances, no, he did not. In fact, in my opinion, he is a legend for what he did here. And once again, this demonstrates, guys, that you always have to keep your eye open for red flags. And sadly, nowadays, you even have to make a full-on excavation for red flags, because they're always there or something's going on. It's just really unfortunate. And you're going to see also, I might add, this guy, he didn't seem like a kiss ass. He seemed like he was just treating her like a good girlfriend, or he was being a good boyfriend to her, supportive, all that. And this is the thing she shows him. But don't worry, justice is served. And by the way, guys, I haven't been on YouTube for a few days. Took a few days off for Thanksgiving, so hope you all enjoyed your holiday. Ate a lot of good food, but back on the grind today. So it starts off, says here, bear with me, it is a long story. A little bit of context first. I'm a 27-year-old male, and my ex is now 25. The story happened about 3 years ago. Okay, so something caused him to want to tell this story. We have been a longtime friends since the equivalent of high school in my country, and when we both graduated, we didn't lose contact. We ended up dating for a year or so before she moved into my apartment, since I lived closer to her university. Smack! You dated 1 year, and she already moved in with you? That's way too soon. You only do that if you're going to marry her, and 1 year ain't anywhere close to doing that. She was still studying when I first started my job as a web developer. I worked mostly from home, and she was off to university. Since I was the only one working, I provided for 80% of things at home back then. Smack! Now we know why she moved in with you, amigo. There you go. So that way then, because believe me, she could have, if she lived in the dorms, she would have to pay through that either what she was bringing in or taking a loan for it. But you were taking care of 80% of things, and I'm willing to bet you it was way more than that. And you probably did the majority of the cooking, cleaning, and all that. Bad way to go. But you can see, this guy was just trying to be a good guy to his girlfriend. He thought he had a good thing going with, and look how she took advantage of him. Everything went great for the first 6 or 7 months, until I started feeling that something was off. She felt off. We would spend less time together. We didn't share as much affection as before, and she would look more and more irritated. I didn't jump into any conclusions at first because she was also preparing for exams at the time, and I thought her recent behavior was due to a lot of stress building up. Yeah, when you have a lot on your plate, it can get stressful, you can lose your patience, but still, things weren't adding up. And notice, he's paying 80% of the bills, probably more. 6 or 7 months, everything's great, and now she's acting different, out of character. These are red flags, gentlemen. She would always leave home and come back at her usual hours, so I did not notice anything. But I started to realize that she was more and more on her phone, ding, 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 barely spending time with me, ding, 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 except for dinner, when she was not preparing food for herself. I reached a point where I was really questioning our relationship. So I decided to do some investigating. I feel bad for snooping into someone's privacy, but today I don't think where I would be if I did not breach her direct messages while she was showering. And God, what I saw destroyed me. The secrets of the universe are in someone's phone, guys. And don't ever feel bad if you reach the point that you have to do that. She was texting another guy, and the content left me livid. There were nude pictures of her, him, sweet messages, and arrangements to see each other when she was supposed to be studying. So you're paying all the bills, 80% of the bills, probably more, and you're not getting any from her hardly ever, and she's not being very friendly to be around. Meanwhile, when she's supposed to be studying, she's off with this dude, and he's getting all the love and affection that you should be getting. How nice. I've seen messages of her berating me and stuff like, this dumbass will never know anyway. Well, this dumbass stayed stunned for a few seconds. I told her in my most normal voice that I was going to grab something to eat while she was in the bathroom. So nobody would blame this guy if he exploded and yelled at her and told her to get out of the apartment right then and there. But this guy decided, I'm going to keep it cool, keep it calm, and find a better way to deal with the situation and get even with her. Don't get mad, get even. Which is pretty amazing because, believe me, most of us, and probably including me, would have exploded. At least back then. When I was outside, I called my parents and told them everything. My mom literally cried, and my dad asked if I wanted to spend a day with him and my brother. My parents are divorced. I took a day off and went there. I cried a bit and then saw red, which led us to the revenge. So, I'm glad you didn't let her see you cry. And it's okay if you went to your parents' house and let it out. You had to let it out, because obviously this guy cared about her greatly. My ex's parents love me, and the icing on the cake, her dad and her got abandoned by her mom when she was younger. He got married with another woman, but still despises everything related to cheating. So your girlfriend is cheating on you, was cheated on by her mother and abandoned by her, and now she's doing the same thing. The acorn doesn't fall far from the tree. They sometimes invite us for dinner, and all I had to do was wait for the next invitation. In the meantime, I started investigating. I learned more about the guy she was seeing, and he was also in a relationship with another woman. So this part things like this always shock me, how guys can continue on playing it cool, waiting for their moment to strike. While she was showering, I took screenshots of my ex's direct messages and sent them to me, deleting the originals from her phone. It will be important later on. I called my dad while she was out and asked him if he could help me with her stuff. There wasn't much to move anyway, since the place was mine to begin with. I left him my keys, my ex's parents' home address a few days before the invitation. And speaking of the devil, cue on invitation, everything goes well. So I'm going to stop right there. He got his dad to assist him. Well, he went to have dinner with her family. Dad went over to the house, cleared out all her shit, and is packing it up. How awesome is that? What a bonding experience between father and son. Cue to the invitation, everything goes well. I texted my dad and he packed everything related to her, clothes, studies, etc., and put it in his truck. I was waiting for him to text me when he was in front of their house. When the moment came, I let it all out. I will always remember what I said because I sometimes have nightmares over it. He said to them, I'd like to thank you for letting me be a part of your life. You mean a lot to me. They had a bright smile on their faces. I'm sorry to say that this is the last time you'll ever see me here. They get confused. But don't worry, insert my ex's name here. We'll soon introduce you to the other guy, such and such. When my ex heard his name, she turned white, almost transparent. Her parents took a few seconds to realize where I was going, and her dad looked absolutely shocked. My ex tried to speak, but she was tearing up. Of course she started crying. Let me explain. But I shut her up with the same calming voice I had and said, no need. I sent most of the evidence I had to her dad. The messages, her berating me, minus the pictures of her, I didn't want him to see that. He teared up and looked at me, my ex, saying, my apartment keys. At first she refused, but her dad humbled her with a calm, crying, and menacing voice, give him his fucking keys. This is terrible on many fronts because he has a good relationship with her parents, with the dad. And now he has to lose that because of her. She protested again about her stuff, which was supposedly still at my place, but I shut her up again saying that they were outside waiting for her, and I was sorry for being a dumbass because I didn't have anything to pack it up correctly. Her dad heard enough and asked me to come outside with him. I'm not going to lie, I thought he was going to kick my ass. But once we got outside, he cried and hugged me, saying that he was sorry and that he regrets that I wasn't the one he hoped for his daughter. Yeah, he's probably thinking this is a future son-in-law, a good guy. A good guy's going to be good to my daughter, who I really like, and the daughter screws it all up, just like her mother. I told him that he was an amazing person, that if he had any issues, I'd always be around to help him. And he says in parentheses, even today, I'm still on good terms with him. I left, and when I joined my dad, I heard some screaming in the house. The clearest thing I heard was, you have a week to find a solution because I'm kicking you out. Awesome. It's amazing. Usually the girls can sweet talk their fathers. Not in this situation. One day later, I had more than 40 missed calls Gee, I wonder who. 40 missed calls. I completely ghosted her and blocked her everywhere. I heard from her dad that she attended therapy, and went to live with her best friend, who actually blasted me on social media for being a piece of crap. To which I replied with a screenshot of my ex calling me a dumbass. Make up your own goddamn mind at some point. So you notice, guys, he could have easily sent all the other graphic pictures to, like, the dad, all her friends and all that. He didn't do that because he cared about and respected her father. And let's be honest, no dad wants to see that. He could have. I would hold it over her, letting her know that, hey, I have all these pictures in my possession. So if there's any bullshit from you, your friends, or anything like that, if I notice even as much as a little tiny scratch in my car, those pictures are going viral. Just to make sure she understood that. He continues and says, oh, and sorry, but I'm not done yet. Remember about the other guy and the fact that he was in a relationship. Yeah, I kind of sent everything to his girlfriend at the time. Not only did she leave him the same day, but I offered her to come over. And yes, we went to town on each other the first time she came over. Dude, this is just getting better and better. The guy that's banging his girlfriend, he's now banging his girlfriend. Well, they broke up. We kept seeing each other for a bit, and then eventually just stayed on good terms. She's still a good friend of mine today, and she found a better guy for herself. A few years later, I left my job for a better paying one, and I'm willing to start my own company. I didn't find anyone yet, but I'm focused on my career, so I don't really care. Good. You're young. You're 25 years old. After that shit, focus on your career. You want to start your own business based on the skills you've acquired? Good. You don't need a freaking chick distracting you. You're going to be working more hours than there are in the day, and more days there are in the week to make your dream come true with your business. And you can't have some girl distracting you. Plenty of time for that bullshit later on in life, my man, but good for you. Thanks for those who managed to read this through. I wanted to let the internet know about my story since I kind of laugh about it now. I still feel a bit guilty for snooping and plotting like I did. Smack! Gotta give one smack. No, do not feel guilty about that, my friend. I sometimes wish I went through direct confrontation now that my social skills improve gradually. But I need your opinion. Am I the jerk for going nuclear? Absolutely not, bro. That was awesome. That was kick-ass. You were cool about it. You were calm. You presented it to her when she least expected it. You got all the evidence. Her dad kicked her out. And then the guy that was nailing her, you tore apart their relationship. And then you're banging his girl. I mean, this is great. You ought to get a parade in your honor for this. At least a big trophy with a big C on it for Chad. Or whatever could be on that trophy. So good for him. So guys, again, this is what shows you got to pay attention to red flags. Things seem off, like she's always on her phone all of a sudden. She's guarding her phone. All of a sudden, she's much less enthusiastic to see you. The bedroom action has a screeching halt. All these things, you put them all together, something's going on. And you got to dig in. And don't feel bad about digging through the phone and all that, because I guarantee you, she'd do it to you. Now some comments here, some entertaining comments before I wrap this up and call it a day. One guy says here, you were definitely not the jerk, and it's more than clear to see why. I mean, she was literally involved with another guy and talking crap about you. This is how everyone should act when their partner is cheating. And there's a principle from the Italian mafia that says something along the lines of, if you can betray the person that can close its eyes to sleep with you, then you're not worthy of nobody's trust. Okay, I never heard that, but sounds about right. Another one, not the jerk. And I wanted to ask if your ex with this guy she cheated with, if she's with him, because if she isn't, she's just wasted a whole relationship and ruined it for nothing. Anyway, wishing you for the best. And one more, guys, one comment, and it's long. This guy says here, sounds like she's had this coming, all considering what her own father went through and what her mother did to her father. She had made it as clear as possible that something she would never have done. As for why she did it, we don't know. Something she clearly just felt justified in doing, or was in cause she just saw you as safe, and the other guy was around for the adventure or whatever else you would call it. Still, though, if she found you to be those derogatory terms she mentioned, she would have ended it, yet did not. We all have reasons for doing things, justified or not. Yeah, she stayed with him because he was paying 80% of the bills. That's what I think was going on here. No other way. She was having her cake and eat it too, as the expression goes, even though that expression is obviously stupid and messed up. As far as how you exposed her, it could have been done differently. Absolutely. In the moment, you felt justified for doing it, and it goes back to what I said before. We all make decisions, and then we have to live with them, finding peace with what we did or stressing out over it as long as you live. Several million people will still call you a jerk or a dumbass, though it's likely several 100 million people will say you were in the right. Well, I'm one of them. He was in the right. Personally, it looks like you just got over it over a long time ago. It's going to be in your mind anyway, or may just come back to you once in a while. So there you go, guys. That was a pretty good story to cover here. That is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let us think about this. And guys, you find a good story you'd like to share with me, a good Reddit story, definitely email it to me, strongsuccessfulmail@gmail.com. Whether it's a really long story, it could be several pages long, or just a short story. I can definitely use it on my Clips channel. And if you haven't visited the Clips channel yet, definitely check it out. It's really growing, getting pretty popular. I'm getting a hell of a lot of views, average video. Definitely should check it out. It's great when you're in a hurry, don't have a lot of time, but do have a little time while you're brushing your teeth or whatever for a quick 6 to 8 minute short story. And of course, you got a personal story you want to share about your personal adventures. Definitely come on over to Strong Successful Mail. Definitely subscribe to that. And if you got that story, again, email me, strongsuccessfulmail@gmail.com. And if it's a really good one, I'll definitely cover it. And I get them all the time. And some of these stories, as you're well aware, can go on 35, 40 minutes long. But I definitely cover them because they really do help guys out. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.